Yes, dude. Know your Supreme Court judges. Get in the know.
There's a trophy on your shelf. Does it belong to someone else? Well, we're gonna let you know on the Reward Show.
Hello, welcome to the Reward Show. I'm Will,
I'm Sam.
and we're on episode 9. Sam, we're
Yes.
we're inching towards those
Yeah,
milestones.
we are. All right, we are. So the next one will be 10, and that's like obviously a big deal to us just because it's the first time we'll hit double digits. I
Mhm.
also know that there's some stat out there who knows how true this is now because everybody has a podcast, probably bringing the average down. But most podcasts that get started by two guys, I don't know if it's two guys, but that's just how every podcast starts, right?
Women are different.
Right. It's a different stat. But most podcasts don't go past 9 episodes. So
Yeah,
the fact that we are going really, really strong and we're not slowing down anytime soon is good news. So I'm very, very excited for where we're at, where the pod's going, and what we've done so far.
episode 9. We are doing 1995. Um,
Were
I
you
wasn't
born this
alive.
year?
No, I
Okay.
was born the next year. I was born in 96. My
Yeah,
parents got married in 95, so it was a really good year for my dad.
I bet. Jeez.
Yeah,
And not only that, who won the World Series? Well,
the Braves.
there we go. That's why we
So
did this.
yeah. Yeah, I've got I'm working on my wall. Sam's
Mhm.
got a better wall than I do, but there's Manny and there's the Scarecrow from the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, what's the scarecrow about, Will?
Uh,
Or
it
is it just a cool
belongs.
piece of art?
It's autographed by Ray Bolger, who played the Scarecrow.
Oh, wow. That's a
So
really
yeah,
rare autograph, you gotta
I
assume.
know.
That's
So
really cool.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. My wall may have more things on it, but nothing as cool as that.
you got to get
So
more things, man.
I have so many things, so many trinkets back there. It's kind
Yeah.
of ridiculous, but
All right.
any.
Well, let's talk about 1995.
Mhm.
Braves won the World Series, beating the Cleveland Indians. Everyone, I feel like it's a pretty famous. It's one of the more famous calls when
Mhm.
it comes to like the last out of a World Series, because it kind of staples in your mind when it was.
Yes, wait, is it the team of the 90s has their World Series?
Yes.
Left center field. Grissom on the run. The team of the 90s has its world championship.
There you
Yes.
go. And I've never watched a second of this World Series, which tells
Yeah.
you how famous it is. So
I watched Game 6 last night when I was falling
nice.
asleep. Incredible World Series.
Uh-huh.
The
Have
Indians
you
had
watched
like,
every game from this World Series, like through at
yes,
some point?
yes, I have.
What was a better World Series, this one or 2021?
I
Like
can't
from a
really.
Braves fan standpoint.
I think my dad would probably say 95, but I think
Yeah,
I'd say 21 because I experienced it live.
that's true. That's true.
And
I guess it's like
it
each
wasn't
core
expected.
has their moment, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I remember in 21 when Acuna went down with his
mhm.
ACL tear, my dad and I were like, we turned the TV off. We were like, well, there goes the season.
And wasn't that the season you guys didn't win the division, or
Dario's,
you only won like 88 games or something?
yeah.
I think it might have been that. You still won the division, but it was like
hmm
not you were not a tank at all by any means.
No, and we went out at the deadline. We got Jock Peterson, Eddie
Hmm.
Rosario, and Jorge Soler, and all
Yeah.
three of them were like essential to our
Dude,
success.
I bought a fake pair of pearls because I lived in Nashville at the time, and that was the team of Nashville. Because like Nashville is kind of belongs to the South when it comes to baseball. Like more people are Braves fans there than anywhere else.
hmm
And the Braves fans had like Braves owned that city too at that time. Like people were about it. It was a phenomenon. That was so much fun.
Yeah, I went to the parade in 21,
Nice.
but we're not talking about 21. We're
No.
talking about 95.
Hmm.
And at the time, the Braves were the team of the 90s. So that
Yeah.
call, it's kind of aged a little poorly, but not terribly, because the Braves had been
Mhm.
to, that was their third World Series they had been to in the decade, and it
Yeah.
was 95. So in the first
Right.
6 years of the decade, they were in half of the World
Uh-huh.
Series, and they had won.
Well,
They had lost their first two, and then they
right.
finally won.
Oh, I think I like the call. And you're right. It ages kind of weird because of that, like calling them the team of the 90s. But it's like the call almost is like they finally have their breakthrough moment. Like you can hear it in
Mhm.
his voice. Like they've been here. They should have probably had one at this point. They're so good. It's like they finally got over the hump. So yeah, I think you kind of hear all of that in that call. Like there's a story in those few simple words.
Absolutely. Yeah. So They win the World Series. They beat the Indians, who had an incredible lineup, as we'll
Mhm.
talk about later. The Braves were all about pitching, as everyone knows. They had the three-headed monster in Glavine, Smoltz, and Maddox, all three Hall of Famers. And then they went to the World Series again in '96, lost to the Yankees, and then they went again in '99, lost to the Yankees. So the Yankees kind of became our kryptonite.
That's very tough. And it's like that's the Yankees winning. They're like 25th and 26th or like 24th and 26th, whatever,
Yeah, some.
like in the mid to late, like they have 27 now and it's
I
like
think it was their 23rd and 24th.
it sounds right. I mean, rich getting richer. I can't
Hmm.
I that's just brutal. And I've watched my team as a conscious adult win a World Series and lose a World Series, and it's
Hmm.
like the losses stick with you much more than the wins. I can maybe compare it to my favorite football team, the Rams, losing the Super Bowl twice to the Patriots.
Yeah.
It's their first win and then like their sixth win. It's just like, dude, like
It's
come
like you
on.
can't escape these guys.
No, no, it sucks. Feels
It's
bad.
like, and Tom Brady is Derek Jeter, I guess.
Yeah, sure. Maybe A Rod. There's a little controversy with Tom Brady.
Yeah, I guess.
Not as
But
much, but
yeah, so speaking of the Yankees, 95, at the end of this season, the Yankees hire Joe Torre as their manager, and that kind of begins
mm,
their reign. You know,
yeah.
it's also the year that Tony La Russa became the manager of the Cardinals. And so,
Starts the turnaround there because they were bad for. I mean, the Cardinals, the last World Series they made was '87 before this
mhm.
moment, so it's not like they were bad for that long, but they started to really become a team of the 2000s at that point. So
Yeah,
the
well,
turnaround
I
moment.
think it's them and the Red Sox.
Yeah, they were a team of the 2000s,
They're the
but
National League team of the 2000s.
sure.
And then the Giants went on that weird run. Let's look at this World Series.
Mhm.
So the Braves, I think, defeated the Rockies in the first round of the playoffs. Because this is the first year of the wild card.
Okay,
Um,
so the wild card team, the game didn't exist until 2011. So
mhm,
I mean, the pure part of me, I know I literally said last episode, I like expanded playoffs because it gives more teams stuff to root for. I just like watching more baseball games. But like the purist in me knows that 162 game sample size should give you at most four contenders per league, you know?
mhm,
Like the math tells you that there's probably only four or less teams that are worthy of going to the World Series,
mhm,
just based on 162 games of regular season play. Like, I don't care that the 88 win team is hot. Another team won 101 games. Another team won 90 something games. Like, they've deemed it worthy because they had a great regular season. And
mhm.
part of me kind of misses this era. And I feel like this was probably our most pure and best like playoff format. Two teams is
Yeah.
too little, but four feels right.
And you look at the standings of 95, it's weird because this was a strike shortened season. So 94 was more shortened, but 95, the beginning of the season was cut off. And so they only played 144 games, and the Indians still won 100 games.
Oh my gosh. So I wonder what 144. So they were missing 18 games in there.
Yeah. So
I
they went
mean,
144. So like you see the wild
gosh.
card teams, the Rockies get in with a 77 and 67 record, and then the Yankees win the AL wild card with 79 and 65.
Yeah, no one is pulling away by any means except for Cleveland.
Hmm.
Like Atlanta has the next best record and they're 90 and 54.
Yeah, you look at their division though. They win their
Oh
division
Lord.
by 21 games.
Yeah.
Indians, the second place team in the Central was the Royals. They were 30 games back.
That's so funny. Seeing that, like, I mean, the White Sox are a great example, but the White Sox last year being like 55 games out of first place of
Hmm.
a Central that's not even that strong right now.
Hmm.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. But you look at like the second level teams, pretty
Uh-huh.
much every other team
Wait,
is there. Like there aren't
yeah,
any terrible teams.
I have another thing to point out. I just totally my brain broke and I was like Milwaukee Brewers AL Central,
Hmm.
Detroit Tigers AL East, six teams in the AL East. One, two, three, four. No, five teams. Oh, this is
Astros in L
before,
Central.
dude. This is before the Rays existed. It's before the
It's before
Diamondbacks
the
existed.
Diamondbacks were existed. Yeah,
Yeah,
they were
crazy.
approved. They were approved to become
Okay,
teams after at the beginning of this year.
right. You got Montreal in here. Yeah, this is crazy. It's crazy to see. Like 95 doesn't feel that long ago, but there's so much difference in terms of divisional like standings.
One crazy thing is in 94, Montreal was like the best team in baseball, and it wasn't even close. And
Yeah,
all the fans felt like shafted because they ended the season
yes.
and there was no World Series, and they were like, that was our year. And then in
Hmm.
95, they finished last. But yeah, so we look at these. Let me just read off the awards real quick.
Hmm.
These names are not like all-time greats. I mean, there's some Hall of Famers in here, but
Yeah.
like the most valuable players were Barry Larkin in the National League and Mo
Hmm.
Vaughn in the American League.
Yeah, not like your inner circle guys like you
No, I
kind of
mean
expect with these awards.
Larkin's a Hall of Famer. Mo Vaughn had
Uh-huh.
a good career, and but then you see the Cy Youngs. It's Greg Maddux and Randy Johnson.
There you go. Yeah. Randy
Um,
Johnson on the Mariners, right?
yes, right in the middle of the steroid era,
Hmm.
but steroids weren't like in the mind of people yet. Like people didn't really know that the athletes were doing it. But
That's funny.
yeah, let's reward a little bit. We're gonna go American League MVP as always, and we've got a new graphic format that I think is better and more comprehensible.
Ooh, it does look pretty good, Will.
A little fancy.
All right, Mo Vaughn, first baseman for your Boston Red Sox,
hmm And
comes
then
in
we
first.
first place, yeah, and then we got Mo Vaughn, he bats 300, 39 homers, 126 RBI, a 144 OPS plus, and plays good defense at first base
Hmm.
with 6 R field,
Yeah.
4.3 WAR. But then we have Albert Bell in second place, who bats 317 with 50 homers, 126 RBI, and a 177
Will,
OPS plus.
Will,
Already.
and then I look again, one slot over. Edgar Martinez in third place with an even better batting average, 356. He had
Uh,
182 hits, more than the other two guys, 121 runs, tied Albert Bell for league leading, 1.107 OPS, league leading,
and a 180.
185 OPS plus.
Mhm.
How's he have a -2 R field?
He played a couple games at third base and was not good.
Yeah, stick him in DH. It's hard to win as DH unless you're Shohei, but like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
Speaking of Shohei,
Yeah.
Albert Bell had another type of 50-50 season, the only one in history. 50 homers,
Uh,
50 doubles.
Really? Only got to do that, huh?
hmm
Doubles kind of land in a weird spot. Like guys that hit a lot of doubles now hit like 50 doubles, but they're nowhere near 50 homers. It's kind
No,
of
it's like
one or
Freddie
the other.
Freeman hitting
Yeah.
25 homers. Yeah.
Like I remember when Nick Castellanos was on the Cubs. Remember that?
Oh
He
yeah,
was like,
he was
he had like
cranking out
55
doubles.
doubles that year. Like I
Yeah.
remember for some reason that he was like nutso at the doubles that year.
There's a gapper. Castellanos around first, trying for two. He's in. Another day, another double. 58.
And then fourth place, for some reason, we have Jose Mesa, relief pitcher, 46 saves,
Yeah.
leads the league. Uh, Pretty good numbers.
Wow.
A whip over one, which I don't like to see out of a
Uh,
reliever. Um,
no.
then in fifth place, we have Jay Buhner, who bats 262, 40 homers, 121 RBI. Griffey
Why
was
the hell did you
hurt.
trade Jay Buhner?
I know. Griffey was hurt for half of this year, so he only played
Uh,
like 70 games, so he won't be on here.
gotcha.
It was the beginning of the end.
Okay, which is so weird to think that he played until like when? Like 2010? Like
Yeah. He stuck around longer than he should have. But
yeah, definitely.
in sixth place, we have Randy Johnson, who has an
Yeah,
unbelievable season.
which is weird because he wins the Cy this year, but he comes in second for pitchers and MVP. So like, what are we doing here?
We've
League
seen
leading
so much of
ERA.
this.
Oh, God, it's really aggravating because I'm just like, there's no consistency. It's just guys being like, yeah, that sounds good, and then forgetting immediately what they did. So just like having no backbone with these voters.
hmm
295 Ks for Randy Johnson. Craziness. Batting average against is 201. 12.3 Ks per nine is crazy. He had an 8.6 WAR season and a 2.48 ERA. So this is a top-notch season out of Randy Johnson. I don't even know if it's his best season. I kind
Mm-mm.
of feel like it's not.
No, his best
But
season's probably '04.
yeah, how many Cy Youngs did he have? I know he said he has four in a row
I
in the
think he
early
has 5.
2000s. So it's this one and then the four in a row.
Yes.
I'm gonna look that up because I feel
And
that's
then
probably right, but you just never
mm,
know.
and then Maddox has
Yeah,
4 in a
five.
row, which
Yeah.
we're in the midst of. on in this season.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, he has five. So it's this and then not again for like another 6 years, and then he wins four straight.
Is it 99, 2000, 2001, 2002?
It might be even later than that. Yeah,
Or
it's 99. No, you had it exactly right.
okay.
Why'd I even question you?
I don't know. But
Yeah.
number 7, we have our old friend Tim Salmon.
Yes, the second best fish on the Angels.
Yeah. Has a great year, 330 batting average,
Uh-huh.
34 RBI, 34 homer, 105 RBI, a
Yeah.
165 OPS plus.
Wow. Dude, this is another like why is Jay Buhner in fifth place? Like what's
I don't know,
that's
man.
so weird. Tim Salmon has a better season than him, and they're both playing the same position.
Why the hell did you vote for Jay Buhner?
Why in the hell did you vote for Jay Buhner?
And then eighth place, the great Frank Thomas, who has an
Mhm.
unbelievable year, a 179 OPS plus.
Yeah, geez, man. There's some hefty seasons in here. You told me not to
Hmm.
look at these stats beforehand, but there's some like obviously some sluggers here.
Hmm. And then we have John Valentin for the Red Sox,
Yeah,
shortstop. Really good season. He leads in WAR, and it's because he leads in our field.
that
He's the
defense is
best defend. He's the
crazy.
best defender. Well, he ties
Yeah.
for the major league lead in defense
Oh yeah, for the year, or like
for the
ever.
year.
Okay, I was gonna say.
And you will never guess who he ties with, and we will see when we look at NL
Okay,
MVP.
sure. Is it? Do I have this in my bag at all or no?
He's not known for his defense.
Okay.
So
All right.
this is early in this guy's career, but we'll see.
Okay.
But in 10th place, Gary Gaetti.
We talked about him before, haven't we?
Yeah, he played for the Twins. He was pretty good. But
Okay.
this is his Royals year. I really
Yeah.
like those Royals caps. The gray.
Oh yeah, I do too. I wish teams. So I have this kind of take on hats.
Hmm.
Obviously, when teams are away, they wear gray. But if there's any white, like imagine the Yankees cap, right?
Hmm.
It's all white in the center there, and it's like when you're at home, you wear white. When you're away, you wear gray. All the teams have white implemented into their, unless it's like a logo, like as you can see, Cleveland's wearing right there. It has their logo there.
Hmm.
Um, like the letters are always going to be in white and not gray. And I don't know why that's always like bothered me because I'm just like everything on the uniform is the same except it's gray,
It
except the
just
hat.
doesn't
The hat
fit.
doesn't change. Yeah, so it looks, I mean, this is such a minuscule beef
Yeah,
I have
I
with the
get it.
hats, but
No, I
yeah.
get it. I have my soapboxes, my random
Uh-huh.
soapboxes. So
Yeah.
give me, I don't know how many guys there are that I can
Right.
consider. I mean, probably three.
Yeah. So let
It's
me see
not
if
Mo Vaughn.
no, no, and let me mine's not either. Can I tell you the three I'm thinking out of the top
Yes.
10 here? Edgar,
Hmm.
Albert Bell. Oh, well, maybe not. Edgar's clearly better than Albert Bell
I
here.
don't know if he is. Albert
And
Bell
you don't
leads
know
in homers and
he
RBI
does.
and has 50 doubles.
Salmon and Thomas, great seasons, but not quite to the same tier. Albert Bell leads and he leads Edgar by a lot in home runs. He leads about 21 home runs. He has 13 more RBI than him. Um,
Same amount of runs.
Same amount of runs. He plays two less games, but let's see if their plate appearances ended up in the same place.
All
Albert
right.
Bell does have more at bats than him, about 30 more at bats. Um,
I think for me, they have the same WAR. So I think for me, it's coming
yeah,
down to do what do you value more? A guy
uh-huh,
who plays the field every day and
right.
does it mediocrely, or a guy who never plays the field?
I think I don't care about the field if you're not a positive. He's negative, you know?
Yeah.
It doesn't help him. It can only hinder that argument, I think. I also think
So are you saying that Albert Bell would have a better case if he were a DH?
yeah, he's you take away a negative aspect of his game, you
Interesting.
know? Um, Only in this case. Like if he was a positive fielder, then of course not. You know, that's like
Hmm.
he's providing a positive impact to his team. That's a negative impact to his team. And Edgar was too, but Edgar, I mean, how many games did he play at? Like first and third? Like it couldn't have been a
Yeah.
ton.
Hmm.
Um, and so I don't know. The DH thing is weird because I don't want to penalize a guy for what position he plays. You know,
Hmm.
it's not Edgar's. I mean, I guess it is his fault. He could have been better at defense, so they could have stuck him in the field. But there's a reason DH exists, and it's to stick your best hitter who can't field in the lineup. And his position is DH, so I'm not going to penalize him for that.
Hmm.
Which I know like might be like a little bit of a controversial like opinion on that, or I might be in the minority of things like that. But it's like who were the top two MVP like guys at least for the first half of the season in 2024? Well,
Uh, they were Shohei Ohtani and Ozuna from the Braves.
There was Shohei and Ozuna from the Braves. It's like both those guys are DH. Ozuna has comical highlights in the outfield.
But he
Um,
has a stolen base, and it was a steal of third.
it was a steal of third, harder to get, so that almost counts for two. Um, yeah, it's a tough thing to like talk about when comparing two guys, but I think because and it's like -1 our field, so it's like almost nothing, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
But I don't want to penalize Edgar, is all I'm saying.
Okay. Do you have a vote? Because I have a vote.
Uh, I'm gonna look at their stats one more time, and I do think I have a vote.
Okay. What's your vote?
My vote is for Edgar Martinez, as you can tell.
Mine's for Albert Bell.
And they have the same exact WAR, which has been our tiebreaker.
But then we go to batting average and OPS plus, which Edgar wins in both.
Yeah.
So the 1995 American League
Mhm.
MVP reward goes to Edgar Martinez of the Seattle Mariners.
I have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for some Mariners and Edgar Martinez. You know,
John Boyce will do that to you, man.
yeah. I watched that documentary. It's about time I need to throw it on. I either watch that or I watch the Dave Stieb one before
Hmm.
opening day every single year.
Yeah.
I just pick
Captain
one.
Ahab.
Yeah, they're both so good.
I know.
It's yeah, it's peak.
But we just gave Edgar Martinez an MVP. And he
We
didn't have
did.
one.
Has he doesn't have one at all, huh?
No. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Good.
But
Which is, you know what? What's his career? I want to see his career WAR. He has 68.4 career WAR. That'll get you in the Hall of Fame.
especially as a
As it
DH.
definitely, because he has no defense helping him. Um, but he's like a late bloomer, you know. But I'm happy to give him a an award here because I love him as a player. He's one of my favorite like all time players.
Hmm.
He's still part of the like managerial staff, isn't he?
Yeah, he's great. He's in the front office.
Love him.
Yeah, congrats, Edgar Martinez. Um, let's go to AL Cy Young. I feel like this is always a short conversation, you know?
Yeah, AL Cy Young has not been a tough one ever.
No, but we can look at some pretty cool names here.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Randy Johnson obviously wins it.
Hmm.
Jose Mesa comes in second. I know we'd already kind of talked about these guys in MVP. It's really funny. They flip flop in MVP voting, but you know, Randy Johnson is behind him into the MVP voting, but Randy Johnson's ahead of Jose Mesa and Cy Young.
Hmm.
Make it make sense, voters. I know you can't do it. In third place, Tim Wakefield, which
Yeah.
rest in peace.
Hmm.
16
Great
and 8.
season. Best season
Yeah,
of his career.
2.95 ERA, 119 Ks, 1.183 whip. He had
Hmm.
six complete games. That's awesome. Didn't pitch a ton of innings. I guess Randy Johnson didn't either. 214 innings for Randy,
But
195 for Tim
remember, it's a
Wakefield.
shortened season.
Oh, so true. So I gotta taper some expectations with that. But I mean,
Yeah,
great
and Randy
season.
Johnson still had 294 strikeouts.
And say, oh my God, dude. So like if he had
Two
they
more
had 104,
starts,
yeah, two more starts, that was easily getting to over 300
300.
right
Yeah.
there. So yeah, Tim Wakefield 5 WAR season. His Ks per nine is way down from Randy, which shows that he probably wasn't the most like
He was a
dominant pitcher in
knuckleballer,
terms
you
of like
know.
swing and miss stuff. Yeah, but relying on his defense and his whip's a little higher too. So that'll tell you a little bit of the story.
And then we got David Cone,
Um,
who was traded mid-season from the Blue Jays to the Yankees. He goes 18 and
mhm,
8. 3.57 ERA isn't great. It's fine.
yeah,
Six complete games. Leads the league in innings pitched with 229.1. So he was a workhorse. That's how he got those votes.
yeah, 7 WAR season,
Hmm.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's I mean we've talked about it too. I'll take a little higher ERA for more innings. It's not a crazy amount of more innings, but I mean that's a couple more starts in a shortened season. That's pretty significant.
And then we have Hall of Famer Mike Mussina, who leads the league with 19 wins, has a 3.29 ERA,
Huh.
1.069 WHIP, leads the league with four shutouts, and has a 229 batting average against. Also has 221.2 innings pitched, and a 6.1 WAR. Great seasons all around.
Great season, and no 20 game winners in the American League this year.
No, shortened season.
There you go. Yeah, a couple guys got close.
Yeah. I
You keep
mean,
reminding me.
yeah, Mussina,
Mhm.
I think Randy probably would have got to it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a couple more starts. Randy was 18 and he only had 2 losses.
Two losses.
That's crazy. I don't think I talked about that enough at all.
Mm-mm.
That's insane. This is a short convo though.
The 1995 American League Cy Young Reward goes to, or stays with, Randy Johnson of the Seattle Mariners.
I'm excited to see. He has five. Isn't the record nine?
7.
It's seven.
Roger
It's
Clemens,
Roger Clemens. Okay, Maddox has how many?
4.
Or okay,
And his
I
were in a
wonder.
row.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll give Randy any more than he already has to like tie that. But then again, I wonder if we'll give Clemens more. So
I know.
we
Yeah.
already we already like
We
kept
gave
one
him
with
an
him.
MVP.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dang. Why do we do that?
But let's go on to AL Rookie of the Year. All right, so we got some fun names here.
Yeah, some fun names to say like Andy Pettit and Troy Percival, which
Marty
Percival and
Cordova.
yeah, these kind of sound like Knights of the Round Table.
hmm Marty
Um,
Cordova, backyard baseball legend.
really,
Oh
not
yeah.
super in my book. I don't really know a lot about Marty Cordova.
The game came out like 2 seasons after this, so he was still in the
Yeah.
mind of people, and they put like their thing
Mhm.
was they had one guy per team.
He may not have one here. Cordova deep to right field for the 5th game in a row. Marty Cordova has homered.
24 homers, 84 RBI, bats 277. Really good in the field,
Uh,
splitting his time between left field and center field, mostly playing left field.
yeah.
115 OPS plus. Then we have another really good fielder in second place, Garrett
Yeah.
Anderson, and he bats 321.
Dude, 321. And what position? She's left fielder, 120 hits, 16
hmm
homers, 69 RBI. Um, he has an 857 OPS, a 121 OPS plus, and he's a positive fielder as well. Warren's up
hmm
and around the same spot, but I mean, great seasons for both these guys.
Then we have Andy Pettit, who later became, or I guess later became one of the greatest pitchers in Yankees history.
Yeah.
A franchise that isn't really known for their great pitchers. But he has a good season, 4.17 ERA, 12 wins. And then we have Troy Percival, who's coming out of the bullpen. He's mainly
Mhm.
doing setup work and middle relief, which you
Sure.
don't see those guys get votes in this kind of
Yeah, definitely not. The only kind of
race.
guys that even in Cy Young, it's starters and then maybe you'll get a closer. You never
hmm
see middle inning relievers there.
Yeah, but he was being groomed to be their closer, and he
Nice.
later became their closer and was their closer for years.
Uh-huh.
Has a great season, a .851 WHIP as a rookie, which is
Wow,
ridiculous.
that is crazy. I have a question for you. What's
Uh-huh.
BS? What a stat is that for a reliever or a pitcher?
Blown saves.
Okay, so he has three saves, three blown saves.
hmm
So it just shows they didn't really put him in that like
Yeah.
role yet. But
hmm And then we have Sean Green, in fifth place, a guy who would later hit 4 home runs in a game.
that's a pretty exclusive list. Does he go
hmm
on to have any sort of lasting career,
Oh yeah,
or is that
he
just
he had
like
a year
okay,
where he hit 49 homers.
really?
Yeah, for the
Was
Dodgers.
he juicing a little bit, Will?
It was 2000 like two, so
I mean, they're
yeah,
a
okay.
little iffy. But no, okay. I don't really know much about Sean Green. This is kind of a blank spot. I'm less of an AL guy than NL guy in general, especially like rookie of the year. They can be boom or bust. You never know. So,
hmm Yeah.
um,
So who
yeah,
are you
what
looking at here?
that's kind of a tough one, honestly. The hitting seasons and the top two guys are super similar.
hmm
It just depends on what you like, and I think I like Garrett Anderson's season a little bit more than Marty Cordova. I know he has a little less um like numbers stats, but like I went and looked ahead.
I think it's because Marty Cordova was there all year.
Yeah, I was looking at their games played and at bats, and Garrett Anderson has over 100 and like 20 less at bats than him.
hmm
And there's an argument to be made that like okay, he didn't compile as much because he didn't play, but like they have he has point 0.3 less WAR than him and like so many less at like over 100 less at bats than him. You got to think expand that across however many games and equal that out. I think he would be a better hitter, and the OPS plus ranks that to be true. I've tried to be consistent when guys don't play as much, and I know I've argued one way or the other, but I think in this case specifically because it's so similar, I'll take the guy who had the better averaging stats.
hmm I'm torn.
Yeah, it's really close. I know I'm sounding going in really hard for Anderson here, but I really don't have
I don't
a
know.
massive lean.
Cordova, I don't know. Cordova's 20 stolen bases impress me.
Yeah. The on base percentage is the exact same.
Yeah.
Slug is really close. OPS is super close. I mean, I wouldn't be upset if Cordova keeps it either because the stuff that he does have him in, like, it's by a lot. 20, I mean, that's like Garrett Anderson, obviously stealing was not a part of his game. He
hmm
also has, this might do it for me. He has 52 walks, whereas Garrett Anderson only has 19 walks.
Yeah, I think I'm keeping it with Cordova.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
And he does beat him in WAR.
Yeah, let's go with
So,
him.
all right. So that means that closest race we've had in a while.
Hmm.
It could have gone either way. It's like, well, the Giovanni Soto Joey Votto argument was pretty close. But the 1995 American League Rookie of the Year reward stays with Marty Cordova of the Minnesota Twins. Let's move on to National League Rookie of the Year.
This probably has more names that I'm familiar with,
It is.
including your guy,
Yes. Here you go. So we got
awesome
Hideo
guy.
Nomo who wins.
Hmm.
Uh has an unbelievable season.
Dude, this is amazing. 182 batting average against. That's ignoring the 2.54 ERA he has,
Hmm.
236 strikeouts. He pitches 191 innings. But like that's a crazy, crazy season.
It is.
Dang.
Um yeah, he I remember growing up because I'm sure everyone knows Chipper Jones is like my hero. He's my favorite player of all time.
Mhm.
And growing up, my dad would always talk about this season, 95, and Chipper's rookie season. He was like, Chipper was robbed of rookie of the year. But looking at the
I,
numbers,
I don't know, bro.
he was
Chipper Jones
not.
has a really good season, but I mean, it's like pretty pedestrian compared. Like Hideo Nomo's season is like he might show up in Cy Young list.
Yeah.
Like this is really, really good. He leads the league in a lot of great stuff. He has three shutouts, 182 batting average against, like I said,
Hmm.
11.1 Ks per nine leads the National League, 13 wins to six losses. I mean, maybe there's something there, but his ERA is still very low, 2.54. So this is an awesome, awesome season.
Hmm.
And we're talking about him on today, on the day of recording. It really the next day, tonight, while we're tucked away, sleeping in our little beds. The Dodgers
Hmm.
and Cubs are going to play in Japan.
Yeah.
And it's just cool that Hideo Nomo is kind of like the grandfather of Japanese like aces
He was the first
in
Japanese
MLB.
player in Major League
Yeah,
history.
really. I didn't know he was the first. That's awesome.
Hmm.
1995. So they've only been in the league for 30 years, and
Yeah.
Japanese players are already like making their stamping their mark. Like the
They just won
Japanese
the
game
World
is
Baseball Classic.
they did with their best team against our best roster, maybe not our best pitching staff, but
Hmm.
definitely our best like batters
Lineup, yeah.
couple years ago. So I'd be really interested to see like where our best pitchers stack up against. Like you get a Paul Skeens, Garrett Cole might be a little old in a couple years for that, but like something like throw in some of those guys
Hmm.
and see where it stacks up. But I mean, they beat us there. Shohei's awesome. I'm really excited for Roki Sasaki. Like tonight, we're getting Sasaki versus Shota Imanaga. Like that's gonna be electric. That's a
Are we?
isn't
Is
that game
it
one?
is it Yamamoto or
Oh, it's
Sasaki?
it's Yamamoto, and then I think Sasaki against known Japanese ace Justin Steele for game two.
Yes. Second place is Chipper
Yeah,
Jones.
yeah,
Chipper Jones would go on to
I
have the
mean,
best career of all these guys by far.
for sure, for sure.
Hall of
But
Famer. Had a great year,
uh,
splitting his time between third base and left field. 265 batting average, 23 homers, 86 RBI, 87 runs, a 108 OPS plus, which isn't great, and middling defensive stats. And then
yeah,
at third place, Quilvio Veras for
I've
the Marlins.
I've never heard of this guy,
Yeah, he would later play for the Braves.
Quilvio.
He's a second baseman, leads the majors in stolen bases.
Oh yeah, 56 stolen bases, which that fluctuates maybe more than any other number across baseball history.
Hmm.
When we look at like league leader stolen bases, 101 OPS plus, so he was bang on average there.
Hmm.
2.8 WAR. Yeah, I mean, you take this stuff happens in rookie of the year,
Yeah.
not the best seasons all around.
And then Jason Isringhausen.
Yes. On the Mets, I see you pulled a
Yeah.
picture from here. So he was a Met before he was an A.
Hmm.
And then in my head, he's always like that he started with the A's, like all those guys, because he was one of the guys sold to the Cardinals.
Hmm.
Um,
And
in their like
Moneyball.
Moneyball teardown. So
Hmm.
in your mind, you would think that so he probably got traded there,
Yeah.
definitely, because that's only 5 years later, and then that's his rookie deal. There you go, arbitration. So
Hmm.
um
And
Jason
then,
Isringhausen, 2.81 ERA, 9-2, 55 Ks, 1.2 whip, not great there. Only 93 innings pitched. So yeah, just kind of a middling season there, but certainly not bad at all.
and notice he's a starter.
Yeah,
So he
starter.
would
He
he
was
would transfer to the bullpen later in his career.
gotcha. So okay. Failed starter, good closer. Was he a
Hmm.
closer or just a reliever?
He was a closer for a little bit.
Okay. I mean, no one's a name brand reliever, right?
No.
You're
But
not Electric Factory if you're like, I'm the seventh inning guy.
yeah. And then we have Carlos Perez for the Montreal Expos, another starter who has a decent season.
Yeah,
So
just decent.
yeah, he was a workhorse. I mean, not a
Uh-huh.
workhorse, but he pitched the whole year, had a
Yeah.
ERA sub 4, 10 wins, really good season.
Yeah, these are good seasons. None of these
Um,
guys had a bad season, but I mean, Hideo Noah had a
one
great
of them
season.
had an incredible season.
That season
And
is
part
fantastic.
of it is that he was already a professional. I think that's part of why my dad didn't want him to win.
Okay.
He
You know
was
what? There's an argument to be made about that because you are a okay. So I'm an MLS fan, as you can now see by my soccer scarves hanging behind me.
mhm.
Um, when like Lionel Messi wins newcomer of the year in MLS, it's like, okay, bro, like what are we doing here? Because they don't have like a
Chill
rookie, they
out.
just call it newcomer of the year, and they have another word called like young player of the year, which I think is under 22.
Okay.
But it's
He's not going
like,
to win that.
no, Lionel Messi will not win that. But whatever his son's name might win that in like 2040.
So,
But
uh,
it's weird when they're like fully professional, won awards elsewhere, and then transfer to MLB is like a different scenario. It's a little
so
strange, but
in 95, Hideo Nomo is 26 years old.
okay.
He debuted in Japan in 1990 at age 21.
Gosh.
And his Japanese stats before coming to America,
Uh-huh.
he had already in Japan gone 78 and 46 with a 3.15 ERA and 1,204 strikeouts. He has just as many
Yeah.
strikeouts in Japan as he does in the majors, or more,
Wow. Wow.
almost as many.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's an argument to be made. I don't think I'm gonna make it though,
No,
but like
because
there's
then you'd have
something
to take it
there.
away from Ichiro. You'd have to take it away from Shohei.
Yeah.
Yes, they played in another professional league, but the NPB was not on par with the MLB
No,
back
and the
then.
fact that his ERA got better when he left NPB and went to MLB
Hmm.
tells a lot. Like he was still gaining, like that's development league, you know?
Hmm.
At that time in history, that is more that's a developmental time in his career before he debuted in baseball. So
Yeah,
in Major League Baseball in America. So no, I'm not gonna take that away from him.
yeah. Well, sorry, Chipper Jones. Sorry, Dad. But the 1995 National League Rookie
Mhm.
of the Year reward stays with Hideo Nomo of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Braves got the World Series. No one
Yeah.
can have the ROY.
Hmm. So the Braves would not win a Rookie of the Year after this until 2000, Rafael Furcal and
And then not again until
Craig Kimbrell,
oh my god, you have a lot of rookies of the year, my guy.
and then Acuna, and then Michael Harris.
I forgot about Michael Harris. He
It
kind of
should have been
sticks out a little
it should
bit.
have been Strider. We'll get to that.
Oh,
We'll get to
they on the
that.
same team. Interesting. It should
Also,
have been Dylan Carlson, if we're
well,
being honest.
also, I don't think Furcal should have won in 2000, but we will
No.
get to that and that race between him
Mhm.
and Lance Berkman later.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun.
But let's move on
Hmm.
to National League Cy Young. And Sam,
Yeah.
remember we were talking about Cy Young being a short conversation?
Yeah. Is
This
this
one's going to
one?
be even shorter.
Oh, but yeah, that's not gonna win you a Cy Young. Oh my goodness. Greg Maddux. What a guy. I mean, I knew he was the winner here. 9-7 WAR.
Yeah.
How many? He had
In a
209 innings
in a
pitched with
shortened
9
season.
WAR. 19 and 2. 163 ERA. 181 Ks. 8.811 whip.
Yeah.
Dude,
10
when's the last
complete
time we
games,
saw
three
an
shutouts.
eight?
A
That's ridiculous, man. I
sub
mean,
two batting average against.
there's a reason they call it a Maddox.
Hmm.
You know, like the complete game thing is so it's real. Yeah, no, back on the whip. When do I see a whip under like when you see it under one, like in the doesn't start with a one, that's crazy. But the fact that his starts with 0.8, like that's super rare, and it's almost into the sevens.
Yeah.
9-7 WAR, 197 batting average against. Yeah, man, this is a special season.
He walked 23 batters.
Gosh, I bet those were battles too. Like,
Three of them were intentional.
oh, they
So
those are
that
fake. Those
means
shouldn't be charged to the pitcher. Those should
that
be charged to the
means
manager.
exactly. That means that in reality, he had
Yeah,
one more walk than
yeah.
wins.
20 walks. Jesus, man, this is incredible. I wasn't like alive or around, or I don't have any Braves fans in my life besides you, really. So like this
Mhm.
three-headed monster wasn't really ever top of mind for me. But seeing it laid out, Maddox was the best of the three, right? Is that like without
Yeah,
question?
it,
Yeah,
it it probably goes Maddox, Smoltz, Glavine.
yeah. John Smoltz, he's around in baseball more than the other two now. So like I feel like I see his stats or I see his highlights a little bit more than the other two, but yeah, man, Greg Maddux, I hear referenced because also I think Wayno would, once a season up until like his last really bad season would throw like a complete game shutout and they'd be
Hmm.
like, it was almost a Maddux. And his in 2022, he actually did throw one against the
Nice.
Pirates, like an 87 pitch, like complete game shutout.
Hmm.
And they were like, this is the last Maddux to be thrown in however long, because like it still doesn't happen very often
Yeah.
at all. The fact that Wayno did it is kind of insane in the year 2022.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But yeah, man, this is awesome. This is a
But
short convo.
yeah, but let's look at the other guys. Second
Hmm.
place, we have Shorrock for the Reds. 18 and 7, 3.22 ERA, 160 strikeouts. Really good season. Tom
Yep.
Glavine in third place, with a 3.08 ERA. Not a lot
Uh-huh.
of wins, but 16 wins. Not a lot of strikeouts. He wasn't a strikeout pitcher.
Yeah.
You talk about like Greg Maddux not being a strikeout pitcher, but Tom Glavine was even less of a strikeout pitcher.
Were they just throwing like sinkers and like curves
Uh,
and like
Glavine's pitch was a changeup.
okay, so just like off speed, like getting
Maddox
weak contact type pitches.
Maddox's was a two-seam fastball
Oh, okay.
that would
I
come
mean,
in to lefties.
but I mean he didn't like he wasn't a heater. Like it wasn't like,
No, it was
you
it
know,
was topping out at like 89.
yeah, no, like it wasn't like Randy Johnson throwing
Mm-mm,
like killing birds when he threw balls, but
mm-mm.
um dang.
But yeah, and then we have Hideo Nomo. We've already talked about him. And then in
Uh-huh.
fifth place, are you familiar with this guy?
Not at all. Ramon Martinez.
Yeah, he is the brother of Pedro,
Real? Oh my God, I see it in the face.
his older
Now that you
brother.
say that, yeah, I see that.
And
That's really funny.
a special thing about Ramon Martinez in 95,
Hmm.
threw a no-hitter.
Ramon Martinez is cool as a cucumber. Both of these fellas from the Dominican Republic. Going back with the fastball inside. And it is out into left field. Kelly makes the catch. And Ramon Martinez, a remarkable performance. No hitting the Marlins 7-0.
Really?
Yeah,
Good for
and
him.
but his brother Pedro
Yeah.
took a perfect game into the 10th.
Does Pedro like not have like a no hitter to his name or
No,
something?
he's like one of the most surprising ones that doesn't.
That's
Um,
crazy.
but
Dude, Thanksgiving Ramon's just like, hey,
a lot of people think that Pedro should be credited with the perfect game
I think so too, man. He
because he
threw
took it into the 10th and lost it.
I that's something where it's like a stupid technicality is the reason you don't get it. But like if you pitch 27 perfect out like batters, you face the minimum. You did all the criteria.
Mhm.
All the criteria. So I met the criteria, but I
The
wasn't
cor-
selected.
I met the criteria to be selected, but I wasn't.
All right, Sam,
Yeah.
are you ready to look at some freaking names?
I've never been more ready in my life, William.
Okay, let's look at National League MVP.
Barry Larkin at shortstop. First of all,
Mm.
those Reds uniforms are very cool.
The pinstripe hat.
Like they're just pure red and white looks really cool.
Hmm.
Like it looks more old school to me. Yeah, Barry Larkin in first place.
Leads in nothing and is
Leads
a
in nothing.
negative fielder at shortstop.
That's you can't do that, man. I mean, Dante Bichette, get him out of the field, bro. What are we doing?
The fact that he bats 340 with
Yeah.
40 homers,
Mhm.
197 hits, 128 RBI, and his
Dude,
WAR is 1.2.
his fielding was awful.
Just
He
terrible.
that's terrible, man.
Bro was born to be a DH.
Absolutely. And he was, oh my God. I think because of Bo, I always assumed he was like an infielder.
Yeah.
No, he was an out. And gosh, man, that's absolutely terrible. I've never seen a war more affected by negative fielding than probably that one right there.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Also, he's playing in Coors, so his
Hitting
OPS
stats,
plus isn't
yeah.
huge.
Right. It's a
Then we
130
have
OPS plus, which is very good, but
yeah.
gosh.
Then we have Maddox,
Uh-huh.
Among these first three,
Dude,
man,
he's kicking out the most to me amongst the
yeah.
top three.
Then we have Mike Piazza
Dude,
at catcher. That's 346, 32 homers, 93 RBI as a catcher.
that's
A
nuts, dude.
172 OPS plus.
Yeah, wow. Dude, this is Dodgers Mike Pizza. Like this is later in his career. Or is it earlier? He was a
No,
Dodger
it's
before he
it's
was a
earlier.
Met?
It's
Okay,
earlier.
yeah. I get that
So
backwards.
I think 92 or 93 was his rookie year.
Okay. And he was a Dodger as a rookie, right?
hmm
Okay, I always think of him as a
The
Met for some reason.
Dodgers
But
rattled off like, and Nomo's one of them, like
yeah.
7 straight rookie of the years. After Piazza, we have his teammate Eric Karros, who is now a broadcaster.
Okay.
Um, Bats 298, 32 homers, 105 RBI. Pretty good
Hmm.
season. First baseman, 3.9 WAR.
Yeah.
And Reggie Sanders has a good year.
Yeah,
The
he
Reds.
does. I mean, some of these seasons, like once you see like what you think's the cream of the crop, you look at the rest and you're just like, yeah, great season. And then
Uh-huh. Larry
that's all you can
Walker, good
say.
season.
Right.
And then here's who I was talking about earlier.
You say,
Leading
okay,
the
yeah.
majors in our field, Sammy Sosa.
No way. Never would I have guessed him.
hmm
Um,
He's a great defender early in his career.
was he known as being a bad defender? Because I probably would have pegged him as being a not great defender.
Not really, no. He's just an
Yeah.
all-around great player.
Yeah. 23 R field.
Crazy.
Nuts. He has a
That means he
122
was
OPS plus
23% better than the average player at his position.
and right field. And right field's not the most demand. I mean, but no, it's a weird
I
position because
mean,
it
you got Larry Walker right there, who's a
yeah,
great defender, and
uh,
Sosa blows him out of the water in our field.
he does. Right field's weird because the ball doesn't find you as often, but you're asked to do like make those throws to third base to home plate that are incredibly difficult. So it's kind of like very feast or famine as a position, I think.
hmm
Um, and yeah, man, crushes it.
And
It's
then
it's
we,
weird. It demands a lot of you every once in a while.
yeah. And then we
Oh
have
God.
in ninth place, leading in batting average with a 368, 197 hits, 90 RBI,
Uh-huh.
Tony Gwynn.
Dude,
Terrible fielding stats.
hidden in right field. Jesus.
Yeah.
Negative
And
18 R field.
yeah, it's crazy. 2.3 WAR.
Yeah.
Uh, then we have Craig Biggio, who has a really
Okay.
good season.
Yeah.
Uh, I think it's a two-man race. I think
Yeah,
it's
man.
Maddox and Piazza.
I was gonna agree with you, but I just want to say if you had imagine an all-star like team made up of Dante Bichette, Tony Gwynn, and then whoever you pick for center field, just like the worst fielding team I've ever seen put together in the outfield.
With Barry Larkin at short.
But yeah, Mike Piazza or Greg Maddux. Um, dude, I don't know.
I think I'm going
'Cause
Maddox.
I think I might be going Maddux. Mike Piazza has an awesome season, but Greg Maddux, like that pitching season, is one of the most dominant things I've ever seen.
hmm Yeah. Uh, that's
I've
ridiculous.
yeah, I don't have much to say. Piazza puts up a okay second place fight, and it's like a good like he's in second place.
I mean,
Everyone's
the
but
offensive stats in the National League are not nearly as good as in the American League. I think if Maddox was in the American
no,
League, I'm not giving it to him. I'm
I can
probably
agree with
still
that.
giving it
Yeah,
to Edgar Martinez or Albert Bell.
I think so. But Greg Maddux is by far the best pitcher this whole year. Like,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is his I
Yeah.
MVP. I'm giving it to him. So
Okay. So that means that our 1995 National League MVP reward goes to Greg Maddux of the Atlanta Braves. So we rewarded both MVPs and gave them to guys who didn't have them.
good. That's all. Have we done that? But yet, have we done
Mm-mm.
both rewarding?
Not with MVP,
Dude,
I don't think.
the further back you go, and we've realized this, the voting gets more inconsistent.
I have received numerous pieces of feedback from our loyal listeners
Thank you, loyal listeners.
and that have said that the 10th Man of the Year award,
Uh,
the exact words that were used to
yeah.
describe
What did
it
what did
is
what did Caleb say?
it wasn't Caleb, it was my dad.
Oh, okay, okay.
The exact words he used were, "Who cares?"
Sure. I mean, good point. I guess you're right because it's just like these guys are coming off the bench. We've probably never heard of this guy.
Yeah, so I have decided
Yeah.
to get rid of the 10th Man of the Year award.
Well, congrats to our one and only 10th man of the year. Do we have two 10th
We have
men of the
two,
year?
but we will be replacing with a new reward called
Nice.
Moment of the Year.
Oh, I like this a lot more actually.
Yeah. So
This is fun.
we're gonna start with Breakout Player of the Year. Mm-hmm.
And your criteria for this is they had to have played at least 2 seasons prior.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they both have played. It looks like you're just giving me the three leading up to it.
No, this is all their seasons leading
Okay,
up.
so they both debuted. They both have 4 seasons leading into it. Um, Brian Jordan,
Mm-hmm.
an outfielder for my St. Louis Cardinals, who I'm gonna be honest, I've never heard of. These were
Really?
not very notable Cardinals.
Cardinals legend, Braves legend, NFL legend.
NFL, tell me
Yeah,
more.
he was a strong safety for the Atlanta Falcons.
That's really cool.
Hmm.
Wait, so he and Deion Sanders were both Braves and Falcons.
At the
I
same
he
time.
didn't. Was he playing for
So
both teams at the same
no, he
time? Like
started in
Deion?
the
Okay,
NFL and then left and came to baseball.
history lesson. But yeah, Brad Jordan, 92 debuts. He has a negative WAR. He has a 207 batting average, 5 home runs, 22 RBI. So like nothing special there. 77 OPS plus. Jumps to 139 OPS plus in the next year.
But with not a lot of playing time.
Yeah, he only accumulates 1 WAR. So like that's kind of I don't know how many at bats he had, but like definitely not a ton.
Hmm.
94, 91 OPS plus, so definite increase from 92. And then 95, he goes all the way up to 117 OPS plus with a 5.2 WAR season, 145 hits, 296 average, and just is like a really great, steady, like that's a great option for your right center fielder.
Look at his R
5.2 WAR
field.
season, 20 R field. So like amazing fielder.
Hmm.
That's great.
He figured it out. It looks like they figured out he's a right fielder
Yeah.
because they started him in left, negative
Uh-huh.
R field, went to center, negative R field,
Yeah.
and in right. They figured out he's a right fielder.
Definitely. And you can see he played all three outfield positions in 93, and his outfield
That
got
probably
like bad.
contributed to his bad. It's inconsistency. It's never going to
Yeah.
be great.
You like to know you're playing in the same place every day.
Our second guy is Tim Wakefield.
Tim Wakefield, 2 seasons on the Pirates. I never knew he was a Pirate.
Hmm.
And then one season in 94, he's in double A. So does he get injured in 93 and
No,
have to
he
go
gets
down
sent
anymore?
down
Yikes.
and has a
Okay.
terrible season in Double A.
Dude, his double A season's worse than his 2 previous seasons in the majors.
Hmm.
And that's for who? The Bisons?
The
The Biscuits? Montgomery
Bison. It's the
Biscuits?
Bisons.
The Bisons. The Montgomery Biscuits probably didn't exist back then. But no, his 92 season with the Pirates, he has a 2.15 ERA. He's 8-1. Looks like, yeah, he's not getting a ton of playing time, 92 innings pitched. Goes up to 128 innings pitched in 93. Has a 5.61 ERA, though, and he goes 6-11. So not
Mhm.
good.
So the Buffalo Bisons were the
Um,
Double A affiliate of the Pirates.
Okay, so he gets sent all the way down to double A.
Hmm.
5-15 there with 80. Are these just his double A statistics here?
Yes,
Does he play any Major League Baseball in 94?
not
What
one pitch.
happened in spring training or whatever? Did he like
Hmm.
sleep
Well,
with
you
the
see his
manager's wife? What
93.
happened?
You see his 93 is
Yeah, it's not
terrible.
good. It's not
So they're
good,
just
but
like, go down to Double A, and he never got better.
yeah, no, that's really tough, man.
And
So
then they
I,
trade him to the Red Sox in
as one
95.
would, and oh my good, dude, he has a 16-8 season, 119 Ks, 195 innings, 227 batting average against it at 2.95 ERA, dude. That's awesome.
And he gets Cy Young votes. I think he
Yeah,
finished just third
I
or
think I'm going
fourth.
with Wakefield here,
I
man.
think
I
I
think
agree
that
with you.
comeback is so much, the drop off is so much worse that the comeback feels that much better.
All right. So the 1995 reward breakout player of the year goes to Tim Wakefield of the Boston Red Sox. Rest in peace. I feel like, I guess he just kind of figured out his knuckleball, you know?
Was that his pitch?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
I
like,
mean, yeah, you just got to tinker, I feel like.
he had a great
I don't know,
year.
man. Sometimes it just all comes together and you figure it out. And I mean, he was a
Maybe,
mainstay in the bigs after that. So,
maybe Fenway, like maybe pitching at Fenway helped.
dude, maybe it's like the reverse, like guys can't see in Seattle or Tampa Bay.
Hmm.
Maybe we're about to see some breakout players in Tampa Bay this year because they're playing in a minor league outdoor ballpark.
That's
Like
right.
maybe we are.
Let's do moment of the year.
Yeah, tell me about this. Is this just purely like where are you pulling from?
So I've got 6 notable things that happened this year.
Okay.
So number one,
It came in a two-word statement, which is now just begging to have a Nike campaign built around it. Quote unquote, "I'm back." That's all Jordan said on Saturday. That was really all Jordan needed to say as his 17-month retirement came to an end. He will be back on Sunday when the Bulls play the Pacers, and probably not so coincidentally, the game is on national TV.
That's
Great moment.
great moment. That might be more a basketball moment than a baseball moment, but it's still a great moment.
Then, April 2nd, after 232 days, the 1994-95 MLB Players Association player strike comes to an end. So they had a
Judge
judge step in.
Sonia Sotomayor, like,
Uh-huh.
was she wasn't, I mean, Supreme Court
I don't know what she
yet,
was.
right? Not a politics pod.
Do
Don't
you
come here for
know
your-
do you know Sonia Sotomayor? Are you familiar with her game?
She's on the Supreme Court, dog.
Oh, is she really? I don't know
Yes.
anything.
Yes, dude. Know your Supreme Court judges. Get in the know.
Sorry.
I don't know when she was nominated. I feel like she was an Obama nomination, so this might be like,
Oh, sweet.
but
Nice. Well,
yeah,
she ended the strike.
dude, that's awesome. She's in my, I don't actually, I think it was an Obama nomination. No matter where you land politically, this move puts her on my good list.
There you go. June 30th.
To the right side, and there it is. Eddie Murray is the 20th man to get 3,000 hits in the major league.
Nice. How many players are in the 3,000 hit club, Will?
29, I think.
Okay. So this is significant.
Yeah. And then September 6th.
As Cal Ripken plays in game 2,131. If he throws one down the middle here, even on 3-0,
yeah, he'll still swing at it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
3-0 to Cal. Here it comes.
Swung at it, gone!
Gone, goal!
Yes!
Then
I don't know, man. This might be. I know this picture. I know
and
this
then
picture.
October 8th, the double.
And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on the line down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Ripped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
Yeah, man. I'll read the last one, but
And
I have
then
my pick.
October 28th, in a pitcher's duel, the Atlanta Braves win Game 6 of the World Series 1-0 on a combined one-hitter by Tom Glavine and Mark Wohlers. David Justice's sixth inning home run accounts for the game's only run.
1-1 pitch. A long drive to right. Ramirez turns to the track. She's gone.
I have two selections here that it's
Okay.
between. And you're biased.
Is
You
it-
might have two other
No,
ones.
for me, it's Ripken or the double.
That's yes. I was gonna say those two.
Yeah.
The Braves one's awesome. It's really
Mhm.
cool. The double is like might have saved baseball in Seattle. Like
Mhm.
they were on the verge of moving, or at least contemplating it, and that double extended their playoff run. They beat the Yankees.
Mhm.
Like that's significant, man. King
Yeah.
Griffey Jr., known like hater of the Yankees. Edgar Martinez, like the people's hero. Like so many awesome moments in that moment itself. A-Rod's in that picture. That's like
Is
baby A-Rod is in that picture. He's hugging. He's like on top of King Griffey Jr. in that. Personally, I'm going the double. That's
You're
one of
going
my
the
favorite
double.
moments in baseball history.
Well, how do we break a tiebreaker
Oh, that's a good point.
for moment of the year? Do they share it?
That feels weird because tying in baseball is strange.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have our team? I don't know, man. How do we do this?
I don't know.
Because you're
What?
ranking them 1 and 2, and I'm ranking them 1 and 2, just opposite.
Think about it like this.
Yeah.
What gets talked about more nowadays?
Oh, it's definitely the
It's
Cal Ripken
Ripken.
one. Yes. But I'm just thinking individual moment, like I can picture it exactly. That's like what baseball is to me, distilled into one thing, and it's that double.
This was a big year.
This was an awesome year, man. What a historically significant thing. Oh, that's tough. Should we?
Flip a coin.
Honestly, let's flip a coin. I'll kind of be okay either way. Let's flip a coin. Let's do heads for Ripken, tails for Mariners,
Okay.
just because it happened first.
All right. It's tails. It's the double.
Let's go. Let's go. My boy Edgar coming out on top twice today.
All right. So this might be controversial.
It's definitely controversial, but like go watch that back.
It's unbelievable.
Put a little like John Boyce like jazz music over top
Mhm.
and like just let it wash you over.
All right. That means that the inaugural
Mhm.
Moment of the Year reward for 1995 goes to The Double by Edgar Martinez. So I guess he gets the award.
I think it's the moment that's just shared, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we're like if there was a physical trophy to give out,
If it would go in his trophy case, I think
yeah,
it might go in the front office.
I agree. I agree with that.
So the
Where if it was like
Mariners get
if
it.
Ripken had won it, I'd give it like it would go to
So
Ripken.
Ripken. Yeah.
But
But
this is like
because
a
this is a
team
team
thing.
accomplishment,
Yeah.
all right, so it goes to the Double and the Seattle Mariners.
And I also think that like, you think about it. Yeah, Ripken's thing is like his thing. Yeah, breaking that record and holding that record is never going to be broken. Incredible. But
Mhm.
like how often do you get to see a like a hit to win a series? Like not very often, especially like one that like there was a play at the plate for.
Yeah,
Like,
it was great.
there's sometimes you like think about like the 2001 World Series or like um even like the Cardinals winning game 6 in 2011.
Hmm.
Like there's
That
hits where
might
it's
get
like
moment of the year.
Mhm.
And I think that's it. Oh, all MLB. Oh my
All of
goodness.
the
So, our all MLB team. Our starting pitchers are Randy Johnson, Greg Maddux, Hideo Nomo, Pete Schurik, and Tim Wakefield. Our closer is Jose Mesa. Our catcher is Mike Piazza. Our first baseman is Frank Thomas. Our second baseman is Chuck Knobloch. Our third baseman is Jim Tomei. Our shortstop is John Valentin. And our outfielders are Albert Bell, Barry Bonds, and Tim Salmon. And our DH is Edgar Martinez. All right. Well, I think it's the end of that episode. Thank you
Mhm.
for listening. I'm Will.
I'm Sam.
Yeah, so follow us on Instagram, subscribe, download the podcast on
Mhm.
Spotify. We're also on Apple Podcasts. Sam is at Sam Traxel on Twitter and Instagram. On Instagram, I'm at _William_Fakespeare_. Also follow my graphic design account. It's Willis Designs.
Putting out heaters lately, by the way.
Am I?
I just saw that Michael Harris one, or maybe that was an old one you
Wasn't that
recycled. It
cool?
looked really cool.
I just made that one.
No, it was
So,
awesome.
Money Mike. We've talked about doing like a predictions episode, but it's the clock's winding down. We got
I
to get
know.
that in.
I feel like that's got to be next week's ep
Yeah.
because
So
opening day is coming soon.
so we'll get Oliver and Caleb on here,
Mhm.
even if it's just like a pre-recorded thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, so our next episode will be episode 10. That works out. Episode 10
Mhm.
will be our 2025 predictions rewards episode.
Lars Nootbaar MVP season incoming.
We are also going to predict breakout player of the year
Hmm.
and moment of the
Moment of the
year.
year. I
Yeah.
cannot wait.
There's a trophy on your shelf. Does it belong to someone else? Well, we're gonna let you